During customer education, the goal is to make the customer as comfortable with their system as possible. We also want to be able to give them a taste of the advanced features of their system as well, without overwhelming them. Customer education basics are universal for all dish receivers. DVR education is very similar across all receivers as well. But for Hopper installations, there's some additional unique information that will need to be covered during customer ed. For customers with Hopper installations, we'll cover how the 3 tuners work, what Primetime Anytime is, and how to use the TV viewing status screen. Now that the customer has a solid foundation in the system basics and understands how the DVR works, they're ready for more advanced features. Explain the concept of tuners to the customer. In this example, the customer has 3 televisions.
Your Hopper has 3 tuners, which means at any one time you can have 3 independent streams of programming going. But for example, if we set to record a show on HBO Family, that would take up 1 tuner. That still leaves 2 tuners available to watch or record something.
The exception to this rule, of course, is Primetime Anytime. Primetime Anytime, or PTAT, is a vital part of Hopper customer education and must be explained clearly. 3 tuners can record up to 6 programs when PTAT is enabled. This only occurs during primetime hours on ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC.
But Primetime Anytime, even though it records all of the networks, only takes up 1 tuner. So if you're recording a movie on HBO Family and Primetime Anytime is also active at the same time, it still leaves you 1 tuner to watch a program or record a program.
Okay. This is how a customer is able to record 6 programs at once with the Hopper system. Since this is a heavily advertised feature, customers will want to understand how it's possible. Encourage the customer to enable PTAT, but remember that customers must enable it themselves. We cannot enable it for them. Walk them through the steps to enable it and then have them return to live TV.
We're going to go ahead and click Select again to save it, and it is now enabled. So it's going to take priority over other scheduled recordings.
Another feature of PTAT that we need to tell customers about is AutoHop. Ask the customer to access the DVR recordings again so you can demonstrate more clearly. You won't have any PTAT recordings to use, but you can still show the customer where the kangaroo icon will be located. Have the customer get back to live TV.
So you can watch the entire show commercial-free with no fast-forwarding, no skipping.
If you follow the steps correctly so far, the customer will be on a premium channel when they return to live TV. The repetition here is important. We really want customers to get the most out of their service, and part of that includes remembering that they have free premium movie channels. Begin Customer Ed Wrap-Up by having the customer pause the live TV program at the Hopper location. If there are 3 TVs or less associated with a single Hopper, choose any Joey location to complete Customer Ed. If there are 4 TVs associated with a single Hopper, the last activated Joey will be the best spot to go. Each Joey is associated with one particular TV, and the receivers cannot be moved around. Just like at the Hopper, it's important for the customers to hold the remote and perform actions themselves at the Joey location. But before you give the customer the remote, press the Remote Locator button on the Joey to demonstrate this feature. The remote will start chiming.
So I've gone ahead and pressed the Remote Locator button. You'll hear the remote. Go ahead and find it, pick it up. Great. If you ever lose your remote, this is a great way to help you locate it. If you press the satellite button, it'll stop the chiming, and your remote's ready to go.
Show the customer the stickers on the back of the remote, as well as the room and input info in the Getting Started guide. The stickers should have been placed, and the input info should have been written down during the setup and activation process. Instruct the customer to press the red shortcut button from Live TV. This will bring them to the TV viewing status screen.
Now let's take a look at what's called the TV viewing status screen. It's kind of the home base for the whole system. If you press the red button on the remote there, it brings this screen up. You'll see there the very first listing is for the Hopper upstairs. Remember, we paused the movie Good Burger on HBO Family, and that's what's showing there. The other 2 Joeys show Fashion Police on E, and then the one down here is Paula's Best Dishes on the Food Network. If all 3 tuners happen to be in use at the same time, you have a couple of different options. Because you're connected to broadband with your receiver, you can access Blockbuster at home, you can access on-demand video, you can also access any recorded event off your DVR and watch it if the tuner's previously occupied. Watching a recorded show doesn't take up any tuner capacity.
Since you're connected to the internet, you can get Facebook on the Hopper and all of your Joeys. You can listen to Pandora on the Hopper as well. Have the customer select the live program that was playing at the Hopper location and press play.
We pause that movie upstairs and we can rejoin it down here. If you go ahead and select Good Burger and then hit select on your remote, it will pick it up where we left off. And there it goes.
Okay.
So you have the ability from any Joey to watch the programming on the Joey or to pull something off the Hopper.
Finally, finish up and have the customer sign agreements. Use a statement that tells them you're going to make sure you've cleaned everything up and collected all of your tools.
Well, do you have any other questions about how the system works?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to make a last pass through the house. I'm going to make sure everything's straightened up. I'm going to do a last cleanup, make sure everything's vacuumed, all of that. Why don't you go ahead and experiment a little bit, play with the system some, and I'll do a last walkthrough.
Okay, great.
Great.
Thank you.
Even though you've already cleaned up, it's good for CSAT to instill this verbiage in the customer's mind. Let's review. For Hopper-specific customer education, explain the 3 tuners and how they work in the system.
Explaining that if all 3 tuners are in use, the customer may still join in on something being recorded or watched at another location, watch a primetime anytime recording, watch on-demand programming, or watch a DVR recording. Then, explain primetime anytime and how to enable it, AutoHop, the TV viewing status screen, and Hopper-specific connectivity benefits.
When customer ed is done correctly, it will ensure the customer is comfortable with the system. It's one of the best ways to improve your CSAT score, reduce truck rolls, and make our customers confident in the choice they made by getting Dish. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.